everybody who is watching this video. I'm very happy to have you today. My name is Olenjolai Moko TAYAI no single. Simply just call me Olenjolai. I'm from a beautiful country that's called Tanzania. This is our national flag. We love international students and even the national student. We love also international parents and also the national parents who have to benefit. I'm very sorry for my voice box today is not okay, but don't worry, as we go, you'll find that everything is settled because this is not what happens according to the tight schedules and tight sessions that we have in order to deliver them to the millions of the present and the future generation. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you in one of our online institutions. We have two online institutions. One of them is called the Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket Olenjolai. This is an online institution. It's not a physical institution like the one that you know. Some of the institutions possibly that around there in our country, mostly, especially in Tanzania, you find most of them you'll find that they have both systems. They have physical teaching, and in some cases they might do even online teaching. So in Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, in square bracket Olenjolai, we do everything online. We communicate with our students online. We deliver contents online. So this is a totally digital platform at this time. It doesn't mean that we don't wish to have a physical or analog system. We're gonna have it, but at the moment when I'm recording this session, we have only the online platform, and you have to understand that. But believe me that what you're gonna receive from Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania is more than what you're thinking for the rest of your life. So believe me what I'm telling you. So we have, I would like also to welcome you simultaneously into one of our YouTube channel that existing right now. It's officially existing. That's called Online Diploma Poly Institute. These are abbreviations of Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket Olenjolai. Before I go into the lecture 6, because today we are in the second chapter of the module called the algebra, I would like just to spend a few minutes to remind you about the vision that we have in Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. This is the vision that we have from God himself, because the book of Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18 say that if there's no vision, people perish. If we don't have visions in Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, OLENJOLAIM gonna perish, our students gonna perish, and everything, even our future generations gonna perish because we didn't play our part. And we are here to solve problems. So this is the vision that God has declared, that I have an assignment to prepare, to teach, to incubate, to encourage, to lead, to train some group of students who will be ready to understand the fundamental and core education in ordinary diploma, to be prepared as best technician, to combine with the knowledge with the knowledge of Word of God from the Holy Bible, in order to solve real life problems, from the small scale real life problems and even to extraordinary real life problems. That's the vision that we have. It has specifically 4 parts. The first part, to understand the classroom instructions, which we are going to focus, which is actually that it's the one that majority of the students or ordinary diploma students used to spend much of the time, and even the educational system used to spend on teaching the students that. And I accept it, but that's just the one part of the game. Another part of the game is the second part of this vision, is to understand the Word of God from the Holy Bible. And the challenging part now is just like practice in music. That's the challenging part. Especially in changing chords, especially whether we are playing a musical instrument, changing chords, the one of the challenging part. The challenging part now is to combine the knowledge of Word of God and the knowledge that you have learned formally or informally in the classroom during preparations of your ordinary diploma from NTA level 5 to NTA level 4 to NTA level 6. So that's the second part. The first part now is to take the combinations of these two knowledges, right? These two knowledges in order to solve a real life problem. Our main objective in Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania is not to teach a student to pass the exams. That is one of our specific objectives. Our main objective in Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania is to see our continuing and graduate students who are solving real life problems. I know that it might seem like something difficult. Yeah, myself, I'm a product of the two knowledge. I'm a product of the formal and informal classroom instructions. It means that I'm a graduate on that, and I'm still also doing the informal learning and sometimes formal. But through the entire year, 95% of my time I spend in informal learning and even informal training. So it means myself, I'm a product of the classroom instructions in the educational system of Tanzania, and also I'm a product of the Word of God. And I'm a product of combining the knowledge from the Word of God and the knowledge from the classroom. And I'm a product of solving real life problems. And if you ask me, tell me one example of real life problems that you are solving, is this one. This is the real life problems. It's not a question that I'm solving in exam. So I know it might seem like difficult or it is impossible. Really, to myself, as I say that, because I've enjoyed the fruits of what I'm telling you right now, I also saw that it is completely impossible. But it can take several months or several years to achieve it. But that's not the case. The issue is to achieve that destiny before I die and before I leave this grave. So I'm here to pour out about what God has been teaching me, especially in informal learning, about what basic engineering and scientific mathematics. So currently we have two departments in Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. One of the departments is called the Basic Engineering and Scientific Mathematics, because we have a responsibility to prepare the basic technician. Another department is called Departments of the Kingdom of Heaven. Now, when we are going to help you to learn, understand, and comprehend and extract the knowledge of the Word of God, regardless of your religions. We are not focusing on religions here. Here we are focusing on the Kingdom of Heaven. That is kingdoms of heaven and humanity. That's our primary focus. Okay, so we are in departments of basic engineering and scientific mathematics. We have some modules. We are teaching a 6 module right now. One of the modules, this is modules that are called algebra, and also we have some chapters in algebra, more than 5 chapters in algebra. Especially, we are in ordinary algebra because we have ordinary and Boolean algebra, and the second chapter is called indices and logarithm. And lecture 6 is solving problems of logarithm. So we are still continuing. We are still adding some more information on the foundation that we have been laying out from lecture 1 through lecture 5. So then the year of study, this is the first year. Again, when I'm beginning to teach you right now, and even later on, when I will be continuing on teaching, I would like to invite you, and God is inviting you in case you want to offer you free willing thanksgiving offering or any type of offering of any amount in order for you to participate in the running costume for the programs in the running costume of Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. Because for the 1 year, the Lord has told us to offer this content free of charge. Just for 1 year. I don't know after 1 year what will happen. But that's what I can tell you. So you can share, you can send your free willing thanksgiving online by using the mobile transactions or by using the bank transaction. By using mobile transactions, you can send on this number 0759745331, and your free willing thanksgivings will be accepted and will be used effectively, because we expect to have more than 500 in the sky lectures of food. Lectures of basic engineering and scientific mathematics, more than 300, something like around there, more than 300. So more than 300. So you see, when I tell you the cost to record and publish until we publish into the public one video, you can just say that I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy, and my God is not crazy. I know what I'm doing, because this is my assignment. Again, we have so you can send by using the bank transaction, okay? And if you want to send by using the bank transaction, you have to go to the descriptions and click the buttons of descriptions below in order to see the bank name, the bank account, and even the bank number, so that you can send your free willing thanksgiving. Okay, and may God bless you abundantly as the blessing that is written in the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. So let us go to the first part of this lecture 6, which is a quick review of lecture 5. So in lecture 5, Basically, I taught you example 8, I taught you example 9, I taught you example 10, and I left also the homework, which is homework 5 on example 11. I don't want to waste much of the time. Here, the primary focus is in case that we have the indices, the indexing function that may be y is equal to x power is equal to a power x. This is the indices, general forms of indices. We can express this one in logarithmic form. That's what we have to just to discuss about. So this will be log of y base of a is equal to x. So this is logarithmic form. So we are dancing with these two forms. And we are dancing also with sorting laws of sorting, laws of exponent, right? That's what we are using. And also we are using laws of logarithm, which I have taught you, and you can access if this is your first video. Don't get confused. Lecture 00, lecture 0 is a general introductions of basic engineering and scientific mathematics for the ordinary diploma, NTA level 4 to NTA level 60 is still in our YouTube channel. You can access them, all the previous lecture, from lecture 0, lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3, lecture 4, and lecture 5. So let us go into the business of, but before I take you into the lecture 5, I would like to do the corrections because I want you to master these contents, because logarithms is very important in the core module. So, for instance, in telecommunications is very important. In electronics, you're going to find the concepts of logarithm. So let me do them, the corrections for the previous homework. So this is correction. Lastly, are the part of quick review, corrections of homework 5. And it was example 11. So the question was asking you to solve for x. Solve for x. So solve for x for which logarithmic function is for log of x base 3, then plus 40 log of x base 4, different base of those two logarithmic functions. This is equal to 1 over what a natural logarithm. Here we have log of 3 base e, then plus 1 over what log of 4 base e. Before I solve these problems and I do correction, did you do it? And if you did you remember to send the solutions in the comment section? I'll be happy to see your work. And even if you didn't do, you can pause the video right now and try on your own, because mathematics demanding students doing and solving problems on their own with the confidence that you can do and you can solve it even more than you think. So let us go to the business solution. So the first step, we say that we have these logarithmic functions in the first thing on the left-hand side, and this is the natural logarithmic function as a fraction, right? So the first step, we have to say that change the base of what? Of left-hand side, okay, left-hand side of equation 1. So suppose that this is equation 1, right? So you have to change the base. If you observe, the base for these logarithmic functions is common. No need for you to change it. Interesting. Okay, so to consider the left-hand side function, we have log of x base 3 plus what? Log of x base 4. So you have to change the base. So you have to recall the formula that the principle I told you, the law that I told you of logarithm of changing log. Mean that I told you log of a base b. If you want to change it, the base, this is equal to 1 over what? Log of b base a. So it's a fractions logarithm. Okay. So if that's the case now, in case of log of x base 3, right? If you change this base, this will be 1 over log of 3 base x. Interesting. So this is equation 1, equation 2. Again, if you want to change log of x base 4, this is equal to 1 over log of 4 base x. And this will make equation 3. Right? Interesting. So we go for the second step. My beloved students who enjoy and love best scale engineering and scientific mathematics for ordinary diploma. Second step, we say that substitute equation 2 into equation 2. Substitute equation 2 and the equation 2 and equation 3 into equation 1, right? So if that the case, no, into equation, so suppose that this is equation 2, excuse me, this is equation 2, because we consider left hand side, and this is equation 3, and this is equation 4, right? So substitute equation 3 and equation 4 into equation 2. So if you substitute, then on this side, excuse me, this is equation 2, excuse me, this is equation 2, okay? So if you substitute, now we have 1 over log of 3 base x plus what? 1 over log of 4 base x, right? So if that's the case now, we have this fractional, then we say that because we have added, we have to go for the steady state. And this one here we formulate equation 5. So the steady state, we say that you have to recall a law of product. We call law of product. Law of product of logarithmic function. How does it state? It states that log of a possible that base 10, this is equal to log of a base 10 plus log of b base 10, right? So left hand side is equal to right hand side. No, right hand side is equal to left hand side. Left hand side is equal to right hand side. So in this case, we have the right hand side, right? So we can rewrite this equation, question 5 as 1 over log of 3 base x plus 1 over log of 4 base x. This is equal to 1 over, so this is equal to 1 over log of 3 times 4 base x. Okay, so if that's the case now, we say that this is 1 over log of 12 base x. So this now, okay, so we can say that, okay, so this will be equal to what? Will be equal to what we have on the right hand side. That 1 over log of 40, log of 3 base e, then plus what? 1 over log of 4 base e. Also, here we have the same base, we can apply the law of product. So it means that 1 over log of 12 base x, this is equal to 1 over log of 3 times 4 base e, right? So this will make 1 over log of 12 base x, and this is equal to 1 over log of 12 base e. So 1 and 1 are equal, so you can compare the denominators. So if you compare the denominators right now, we have log of 12 base x, this is equal to log of 12 base e. So this is equation 6. Interesting. This is a constant, this is logarithmic function. Because remember that a is, you can determine by using scientific calculator, is 2.71, etc. So that is e. So it means that it's known, so value is known. Okay. So if that's the case, we just simplify that. We go for the first state. The first state, we say that we have to remember that log of x, this is equal to log of x base e. For that case, that we say that this is, we have to recall, I told you this. Okay, for that case, we can say that we can say that log of 12 base e, this is equal to log of 12, right? So if that's the case, if we go back to our equation what? To equation 6, then we have what? Log of 12 base to x, this is equal to log of 12, because this is the mathematical natural logarithmic function. So we go for the fifth state. The fifth state now, we are looking for the value of x. The fifth state, we say that, so this is still, we can still call it, it is still another form of equation 6. So we say express equation 6 above in what? In exponential form. So to express it in exponential form, we say that this is x ln of 12, okay? This is equal to what? Is equal to x ln of 12 is equal to 12, right? So then we can find the ln of 12, but we can multiply by, so for this case, we say that we have x ln of 12, okay? How we can eliminate? We multiply the exponential, the indexing is 1 over ln of 12, right? And then also this will be equal to 12 power 1 over ln of 12. So for this case now, ln of 12 and ln of 12 will cancel. We have x is equal to 12 power 1 over ln of 12, which you can use your scientific calculator to find the value of x. So value of x is equal to, so you can use your scientific calculator quickly. So if you use your scientific calculator, I did use it in mine, so you'll find that the response or the value is 2.7183. 2.71 then 83. 2.7183. So this is the response I expected you to send me in the comment section. So check out your work, your previous work. Did you get it? If you got it, if you missed it, don't worry. We are learning from mistake. Even myself, I learned with I did so many mistakes on logarithmic function, on solving them, and I missed them in many circumstances. But I was learning through those mistakes. It didn't stop me and make me to hate logarithmic function. So if that's the case now, let me invite you now into the problem solving for lecture 6. Okay, problem solving for lecture 6. So because we ended on example 11, so let us go to example 12. So stay tuned, stay focused, love basic engineering and scientific mathematics, and seek to solve real life problems. Okay, so now let us continue with example 12. Here it is Olenjolai who is pondering the different concepts of logarithmic functions on problem solving as a lecture 6. So I believe that you had a good moment with the homework, and now let me take you into the contents of lecture 6, which you have to begin with example 12, which is concept. We'll be given two logarithmic equations. We have to find for the value of x and value of y. So these functions, it's base 10, and this one, it's base 2, right? So we say solution. Remember, I would like to tell you the trick. So it means that the concept we call to try it yourself. Once you understand the principles or the concept or the formula of solving particular mathematical problems, then the next step, even if you will be going through some more examples concerning about that concept, the next step I would like to advise you, don't, once you want to master mathematics of any levels, maybe for instance, for the diploma level, then you have to make sure that you love on solving on your own. So how can you do it? You just copy the question on the rough paper and then try to solve by using your own ideas that you have understood when you've been going through the lecture, the lecture that have been taught, and the first step that you have to do. So even in this digital platform, I would like to ask you that when I'll be writing, maybe we have solved, for instance, now we've already solved the 11th example, so you know basically the principles of logarithmic indices. So I advise you that to press the buttons of pause, you pause the video, and then take a piece of paper and try to solve this equation, this example, example 12, yourself. And then once you get the answer Then you can continue watching the video until you find it and you check to get a check whether your answer or your approach is right or is not right. So the first step, we say that name the given equation. Name the given equation. Or number, not name. Number the given equation. So to number, how do you do? Say log of x minus 2 plus log of 2 plus 10. This is equal to twice log of 1. So this one, we number it as equation 1. Then we go for the next one, which is log of x minus 2y, and this is base 2 is equal to 5. This is the second equation. Okay? We can deal with either of the equation, and then later on we can come to the remaining equation. When we simplify, we go for the second step. When we simplify, we can simplify what? When we simplify, equation 1, or simplify equation 1 above, how do we simplify? So you have to recall, I told you, when you have log of a base 10, for instance, plus log of b base 10, the answer is equal to log of a times b base 10. Similarly, there we have log of x minus 2 plus log of 2 is equal to 2 log of 1. So we can simplify it further. Okay? Do you enjoy the beauty of algebra? Do you enjoy the beauty of honor algebra? Do you understand what am I teaching you? Tell me in the comment section, please. So if that's the case, we say that, okay, fine. So there we have what? So there we are going to have log of what? So log of x minus 2, then we multiply with 2, right? This one is equal to twice log of 1. Okay, so if you keep on simplifying, 2 times x, this is 2x, 2 times 4, this is 4, right? 2 times 2, it is 4. And here we have 2 log of 1, right? So again, we have to remember the law I have taught you in logarithm, that if I have maybe a log of x base 10, this is equal to log of x power a, right? Similarly, we have to apply at this point. So we say that log of twice x, because if I do that, I can cancel the logarithmic function. Interesting, see something? So I can divide by log to left hand side and divide by log to left hand side. So this is 2x minus 4 is equal to y squared. Right? So if that's the case, we say, okay, so this is equation 3. We'll come back later. We go again for the third step. The third step, we say that we can express, because we can express equation 2 in exponential form. So to express equation 2 in exponential form, what do we say that? We are going to have 2 power 5. This is equal to what? X minus 2, 1. So by expressing this logarithmic equation into exponential form, you can notice that now we have already eliminated the logarithmic function. So now we have just the algebraic function. 2 power 5, this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which will make 32, and this is equal to what? X minus twice y. If that the case, x minus twice y is equal to 32, and this will make equation 4. So then now we have equation 4 and we have also equation 3. If you examine them, they are closely related. So what do we say? We go for the first step. The first step, we say that solve for x and y in equation 3 and in question 4 above. So to solve for it, you can make x the subject here. This will make 32 plus twice 1, right? So then we substitute this into equation what? Into equation 4. So we have 32 plus twice y. Then we have minus what? Twice 1. No. We have to substitute x is equal to 32 plus 2y in equation 3. In the term where we have x. So for this case, it will be 2 times x. Our x is 32 plus twice y is equal to what? Is equal to y squared, right? So 2 times 32, this will make 64 plus 4y. This is equal to y squared, right? So great. So right now, we can form a quadratic equation, which is y squared minus 4y minus 64 is equal to 0. So this one, we have equation 5. Interesting. So we are looking for the value of x and y. But here also we have equation. We can call this one equation 5, okay, because it's another format, and this is equation 6. So we can go for the fifth state. The fifth state, we say that we solve quadratic equation 6 above. You may use any method. You may use general formula. You may use general formula. You may use perfect square. You may use in the middle term. You may use scientific calculator. You may use also a graph method. But for we to just to simplify life, we are going to use only what? We are going to use the scientific calculator because we have it. As I told you that, we have also good news. In online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, in square bracket Olenjolai, we have also a special library. We don't have only the departments, maybe the contents or the modules. We have also a special library, and this is the online library. It means we sell what we have in stock of our library online. So one of the items for ordinary diploma or for the basic technicians is a scientific calculator, especially for those who are come from the form for education. Possibly you have it, or you have lost it, or you have left it to your young brother. Don't worry. Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania library can assist you. You can order original scientific calculator in any regions of United Republic of Tanzania. You have to pay the buying cost, and then also you have to pay for the shipping cost. Only those two costs, which actually you can, I believe you can afford them, right? And we'll be selling to you the original scientific calculator. So in case you want to get too much detail, just go to the description below in order for you to grab the instruction. So suppose that this is your scientific calculator. I want to take you slowly because I know you come from the form 4. Press the buttons of modi first time, second time, and third time. You see question, choose a question. How many unknowns do you have there? We don't have, we have only one unknown. So press this button. What the degree of that quadratic equation is 2. So you have to choose a degree. What the coefficient of y squared is 1. What the coefficient of b is -4. What the coefficient of c is -64. -64. So let me check it here. X minus y. In this equation, you have 2x minus y. Yeah. Excuse me, I made a mistake. I left you some piece of information here. But just I do correction here. Equation 6. So it is 2 times 32 plus 2y minus 4. This is equal to what? y square. So this is 64 plus 4y minus 4 is equal to y square. So we can simplify and find that we have y square minus 4y and then minus 60. This is equation 6. Okay. So your scientific calculator in the previous mode, you have coefficient of y squared is 1. Coefficient of y is negative 4. Coefficient of y power 0 is negative 60. The answer x1 is 10. So x1, this means that in scientific calculator it's x1, that is y1. Answer is 10. Fantastic. And then the second value of y, y2, because it's quadratic equation, it possesses two distinctive roots. So then we have the value of 40, the value of y. So this value of y, we can determine now the sixth step. So we can find the value of x for what? For y is equal to 10. Right? So we call equation 5. We have x is equal to 32 plus 2y. So y is equal to 10. So x is equal to 32 plus twice 10. So our x is equal to, in that case, 52. Then let us find the value of x when y is equal to negative 6. So this is equal to 32. And then we say that minus up to 2 times 6. Okay? So x is equal to 72 minus 12. The answer is equal to 20. Right? At the value. So the value of x is 52 by 10. And the value of so here we have two pairs of values. On the value of x. The first value of x is 52. The second, the first value of y is what? 52. And for y it is 10. It is 10. Then here we have what? X comma y. First value, the value of x is 20, negative 6. So after having those values, it doesn't mean that all of those values are satisfied. You have to get the seventh step, and the seventh step, we say that testing the primes. Okay? So testing for the primes, we say that we have 52 and 10. So we have to substitute the value of x with 52 and the value of y with 10. It works in equation. So in both equation 1 and also in equation 2. If you substitute them, or if you find, for example, the value of y is equal to negative 6, you have to remember that we don't have logarithm, or at this level, we are not allowed to learn about logarithms of negative values. So therefore, after you test, because I test myself, after this test, you get that x comma y is equal to 52. So therefore, X is equal to 52, y is equal to 10. Not the final response because it's the only one that satisfies both sides of the two given logarithmic equation. Do you love this mathematics? Tell me if you do love. Then, ladies and gentlemen, let me teach you about example 13. Number 13, right? So again, we'll be given a question. This again is concept. Solve. Log of x base 4. So you have that question. You can also pause the video and then try to solve it yourself. And then you come back and check the solution. Okay, so now we have to find the value of x and y in the equation below. We'll be given how many equations? 2 equations. So remember the principle I taught you of learning this content online. You can pause the video and then you can copy the question and try to solve it on the rough paper, and then you come back, you play and watch the video and see the solution that I solved. So from there, you build the concepts of mathematics in your mind and in your handy tips. Okay? So solution. This also is the conceptual question. There's a concept on solving it, so you have to be careful. So we have to, the first step, we have to number the equations. To number the equation, we have log of 8 base x plus log of 2 base y is equal to 2. This is question 1. Then you have what? A half log of x base 4 plus log of y base 4. This is equal to 0. So number this as equation 2. Okay, fantastic. Are you ready to enjoy the beauty of logarithmic function? Tell me, you have to be happy. Tell yourself, and tell your neighbor, understanding is coming, 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 understanding is coming. So you know what you have to do there. First of all, we have to express question 1 and 2 in the same base. That's the second step. In the second step, we say that express equation 1 and 2, equation 1 and 2 in the same base. okay, in the same base. So we have two alternatives, whether to change the base of equation 2 or the base of equation 1. But the best one, because we're looking for the value of x and y, it's very simple if we change the base of equation 1 to become numbers instead of these variables, okay, of x and y, right? So simply say that change the base of equation 1. So to change the base of equation 1, we say that, remember, recall the principle that I told you, that the log of a base b, if you want to change, is 1 over log of b base a, right? So if that's the case, we say that we have log of 8 base x, this is equal to what? This is equal to log of 2 power 3 base x, right? Base x. So simply, we can express this one as 3 log of 2 base x, right? So then, log of 8 base x, this is equal to 3. So if you change the base here, this becomes as 1 over log of x base 2, right? Then we go for the next part. The next part, we have log of 2 base 1. So to express it, this is 1 over log of y base 2. Suppose that this is equation 3. And suppose that this is equation 4. So you go for the third step. Third step, you say that substitute equation 3 and equation 4 in equation 1. Alright? I believe that you enjoy the beauty of the beauty of algebra, the beauty of exponential or indices and the logarithmic function. Good. So we have to substitute these variables into which equation? Into equation 1. So instead of log of a base x, right now we have what? We have 3 times 1, which is 3 over log of what? Log of x base 2 plus, I didn't have what? Log, so this is 1 over log of y base 2. The answer is equal to what? To 2. So this will make equation 5. Okay? So you have equation 5 and also you have equation 2. Okay? So we go for the fourth step, right? Fourth step, we say that simplify, help us to simplify. Simplify equation 2. Okay? Simplify equation 2 half. Here we have a half log of x base 4 plus what? Plus log of y base 4. So then this is a half, and here we have log of x base 10 over log of 2 over 2. Plus, also here, by using fraction, we have log of y base log of 4 over log of 4, which is 2 squared. This is equal to 0. Right? So if it's equal to 0, then we say that by using laws of logarithm, this to become here. So we have a half 1 over 2 times 1 over 2, which is 1 over 4, right? And then restore the fractional logarithm into log of x base 2. Excuse me. Yeah, okay, base 2. Base 2. And then plus what? Then this 2 comes here to be a half. Then we have what? Log of y base 2 is equal to 0. Right? So in this case, we have 1 over 4 log of x base 2 plus a half log of y base 2 is equal to 0. This will make equation 6. Basic engineering and scientific mathematics. Beautiful. See how you navigate? It's very good navigation. So then, if you examine now our logarithmic terms of equation 1 and equation 2 of logarithmic, you find the base. Here, these terms have the same base with this term, and these terms have the same base with this term, and they are alike. So you can go to the fifth step. The fifth step, the main objective is to solve for the value of x and d 1. So expressing or simplifying in equation 5 and equation 6 is not enough. So you have to let now. To let what? So let us let log of x plus 2, this is equal to r. And then again, we let the log of 1 plus 2, this is equal to b. Once we let these values inside of this, writing this logarithmic function, now we are going to replace those functions with what? With a and b variables that we let. Remember, a and b, this we call them intermediate variables. So we should not end when you get the value of a and b. A and b are intermediate variables which help us to get the value of x and y. So if that's the case, we say that for the equation 5, we are going to have 3 over a plus 1 over b. The answer is equal to 2. So this again is establishing a new equation, which is equation 7, because it's quite different. And then we have what? We have 1 over 4a plus what? 1 over 4a plus what? Plus 1 over 2b. This is equal to what? This is equal to 0. And this will make equation what? 8. So you have to solve for the intermediate values of a and what? And b. So if the case now, if we come here, we find the LCM. LCM here is AB. AB over 8 is B times 3 is 3B. AB over B is A times 1 is A. This is equal to 2. So multiplied by AB, this will make 3B plus A is equal to 2AB. So just a simplification. Again, in equation 2, in equation 8, the LCM is 4. 4 over 4 it is 1. 1 times 8 is A. Plus 4 over 2 it is 2. Times B it is 2B. And then this is equal to 0. So we can multiply by 4. We can multiply this one by 4. So A plus 2B, this is equal to 0. Right? So we cannot solve this as a simultaneous equation, right? We cannot solve this as a simultaneous equation because here we don't have a constant value on the right hand side. So the second step, it means that we say that the sixth step now, to simplify, say solve for A and B. So solve for A and B, if you make A the subject in this equation, okay, in this simplified equation, is equal to negative what? 2b. So in positions of A in this equation, place negative. Here we had 3b plus A, which is negative 2b, is equal to 2 times A, what the value of A is equal to negative 2b times what? B. Right? So then, good. This is equal to B, and here it will be equal to negative 4b squared. Right? So you can divide by B, you can divide by B. So then this will make it 1, negative 4b. So you can divide by negative 4, and this by negative 4. So B is equal to negative 1 over 4. Again, we had A is equal to negative 2b here. So A is equal to negative 2 times B, which is negative 1 over 4. So A is equal to what? A half. Right? So it means that now if you write in terms of a pair of value, this is equal to a half, comma negative 1 over 4. But this is not a point, just pair of the values. So we ended in 6 steps. On the 7th step, we said that now solve for x and y. Where? In equation in what? In the 5th step. The 5th step. We have said that log of x, log of 2 of the log of x plus 2 is equal to a. A here is equal to what? A is equal to a half. Again, we have let log of y plus 2 is equal to what? Log of y plus 2, this is equal to negative 1 over 4. So you can express this in exponential form. So if you express in exponential form, on this side, this will be 2 power a half. Also, these terms, y is equal to 2 power negative 1 over 4. So 2 power half at the square root of 2, which is 1.4. So x is equal to the square root of 2, and y is equal to 1 over 4th root of 2. Okay, or you can put in decimals. So this is the final response. Or you can also put what? The square root of 2 by your scientific calculator. So you just take your scientific calculator, you clear it. Once you clear it, then you can find the square root of 2. This is 1.4142 in 4 decimal places. And then you can find the fourth root of 40 of 2. Then find the reciprocal of it. This also will make y is equal to 0.8409. So also this is the response, either this or in this format. Okay? I believe that you've been enjoying how we've been going through with solving logarithmic and exponential function. And I believe that you've been getting a very interesting concept for you to go through on your own. Okay, so now let me let me teach you the last example, and then I'm going to give you the homework. So this is example 14. Example 14, and example 15 will be the homework for you, right? Find the value of x in the equation below. Find the value of x in the equation below. Here we have the log of 2 minus 3x, log of 2 minus 3x by 3. This is equal to log of 6x squared minus 19x, then plus 2. Plus 2. Plus 9. Plus 9. So that's the problem which has been given. We have to deal with it. This is log of 2 minus 3x base 3. Okay, for the senior students, that's very simple questions. You just solve it within 3 minutes and then you are done. So even if that you find that you see you are instilled in the great darkness, you don't know the techniques of solving this problem. Remember that the fundamental techniques is to make every terms to be in the same base. Okay? For instance, in this problem, we'll be given only one equation. So if we give us one equation, we have to check the base. The base is quite different, right? So the first step is kind of the joking step. Number the equation. Number, okay? How do we number? We have log of 2 minus 3x plus 2. This is equal to log of 6x squared minus 18x plus 2. Base what? Base 9. Okay. So if this is the case, we say that, okay, fine. So we go for the second step. This is base 3, excuse me, base 3. Okay? The first step. So this we name as equation 1. So we say that consider right hand side of equation 1. Consider right hand side of equation 1. Again, I would like to remind you, in case you want to offer our God in heaven, you are free will in thanksgiving for this program that coming to you, which you might have paid a lot of money to get it. But by God's grace, you don't pay any amount of money to the owner of these programs, who is Olenjolai. So in case you want to offer your free will in thanksgiving in order to support the running cost, so many lectures, video of algebra will be in air. There is a very high running cost for a single video to reach the place where you are. So you may send through this telephone number, that's his Spiritual Thanksgiving, 0759-745331. In case you want to do the bank transaction, just check the description below. Okay. So we say that if we consider the left-hand side, we have log of what? Log of quadratic function, which is 6x squared. 6x squared minus 19x and then plus 2. This is equal to what? This is equal to, okay, so just you have to deal with it. So we can express this in fraction because we want to express the right hand side, we want to express the base of right hand side to be 3. So it means that in fraction form, we say log of 6x squared, okay, then minus 19x, then plus 2, divided by log of 3 squared, right? So this one will become what? 1 over 2 log of 6x squared minus 19x plus 2 base what? Base 3. So then this will be log of 9 and then 6x squared minus 19x plus 2, right? So this is equal to what? This is equal to a half log of 6x squared minus 19x plus 2. So you can keep on expressing this in another form. So you have log of 6x squared, 19x plus 2, base 10. No, excuse me, base 3. So even this one base 3. But this is a half, so you can bring it in and becoming what the exponent there. So if you keep on simplifying, we'll find log of square root of 6x squared minus 19x plus 2 base of 3. Okay? So if that's the case now, if you restore back, on left hand side we have log of 3, and then we have what? 2 minus 3x. This is equal to what? Log of square root of 6x squared minus 19x plus 2. The result be 3. So because we have one equation where the base of left hand side of that equation is the same with the base of the right hand side of that equation. Because of that situation, then we say that we can divide by log of base of 3 like this. Then okay, so now my beloved students, let me take you into the 14th example of problem solving, and actually it's a little bit challenging problem solving of logarithmic function. So when we go to this state, now we have to enjoy the next example, which is example 14. And the question is, so example 14, right? Say example 14. Do you enjoy the beauty of basic engineering and scientific mathematics? Tell me in the comment section. And tell me in the comment section that you enjoy this content from which part of the world. Which part of the Tanzania? Because this is the programs prepared for the curriculums of Tanzania, for the Tanzanian students firstly, which have been given the first priority. Tells us in the comment section which institutions you are learning this content from, which institutions, from which college, from which university, from which city of Tanzania, from which regions of Tanzania, from which district. Just tell us every corner. Maybe you're learning informally or formally. You're private students who are doing ordinary diploma, maybe in an open university. Just tell me in the comment sections. I'll be very happy. I'll be so happy to hear about that ones. And God loves you so much. Okay, so example 14, the question asks you or asks us to solve for x. Okay, solve for x. Let us solve for x. We'll be given this logarithmic function, which is log of 2 minus 3x, and hence the 3, this is equal to log of 9, no, log of base 9, log of 6x squared minus 19x, then plus 2. Then plus 2. Wow. So this is interesting. We have that example, okay? And this is logarithmic function or logarithmic equation can stop at left-hand side and right-hand side. So the first step, we say that express the left-hand side of this equation, of this logarithmic equation, and right-hand side in the same base of logarithmic function. FCT means function. How? There's a relationship between this base, right? If I simplify this base, I can get this base. So it means that I say now, consider right-hand side, suppose that this is equation 1 of equation 1. So if we consider, we have log of what of 6x squared minus 19x, and then plus 2, this is base 9, right? So this one, we can express it in fraction. So when expressed in fraction, this will be log of 6x squared minus 9x plus 2, but base 10, right? According to what I taught you, refer my previous concept. And here, in denominator, we have log of 9 base 10, right? So if we keep on simplifying, we don't do any simplification for the numerator of that logarithmic function, okay? But we have to simplify this one, because this will be equal to the log of 3 squared. So if we keep on simplifying, we'll get our numerator logarithmic function is 6x squared minus 19x plus 2, right? And then remember base 10 we can write or we cannot write. Then this one, by using laws of logarithm that I told you, to be like this one. So simply we say that now log of 6x squared minus 19x plus 2 base 9. This one we can express it as what? A half, right? A half, and then log of what? Of 6x squared minus 19x, then plus 2. Okay? And then this is, we say that in base 3. Right. So then we can formulate that. Okay, so that's one of the equations, okay? So we say that, suppose that this is equation 2, okay? So because it's equation 2, we can keep on simplifying it, right? We can keep on simplifying it, or we can just leave it. We'll simplify it later. So we go for the second step. The second step now, we say that substitute equation 2 into equation 1, okay, into equation 1. So to substitute, here on the left-hand side, we have log of 2 minus 3x, and then so the 3, this will be equal to what? A half log of 6x squared. In case you find that I'm solving this problem quickly rather than your speed of understanding, you are allowed to repeat this video several times as well as you can. Okay? So then we have this nice equation. After having that nice equation, we can keep on simplifying. So this one,
we can simplify this one. We can take a half as the coefficients of this logarithmic function, and then we raise it into this quadratic function. So then, after doing that, we have to keep on simplifying. So it means that this is the steady state. The steady state now, we have a new equation. It makes you say that this is equation 3. So we say that simplify equation 3. So to simplify equation 3, we say that this is log of what? Of 2 minus 3x, then base 3, and this is equal to what? This is equal to log of base 3 squared of 40 of 6x squared minus 19x, then plus 2, right? So again we say that, okay, so we can divide with log of base of 3, and also you can divide log of base 3 to both sides. So this way log and log will cancel. So finally remain resulting with a polynomial function, which is 2 minus 3x. This is the linear function, and then on the right hand side we have what? 6x squared minus 19x then plus 2. This is what? Quadratic function. Then you see we had the logarithmic function, or we had logarithmic equation, and then we have done so many maneuvers in mathematics, and finally we have what? A polynomial function. So you see how one concept of mathematics demand on another concept. So that's why that I insist you stop cramming mathematics, stop cramming basic engineering mathematics, stop cramming basic scientific mathematics, but understand. It is possible to understand, right? And if you understand, even if that you be after you graduate, you still remember all the concepts that you've been learning because they are applicable in real life. Okay, so then this is supposed to is equation 1 to 4, right? So equation 4, then we go for the first step. The first step we are mathematicians. The next step that we have to do is say that we have now to solve for what? Solve for x. Okay, x in what? In equation 4 above. Equation 4 above. So to solve, we have 2 minus 3x. This one we have to square. And then on this side, we have what? 6x squared minus 19x, and then plus 2, right? So then we have to square these to both sides. Okay? So if you square to both sides, on this side we have 2 minus 3x, and then multiply to 2 minus 3x. This is equal to what? This is equal to 6x squared minus 19x plus 2, right? So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times this one is minus 6x, and then negative 3, this is minus 6x. Negative 3x times negative 3x, this is 9x squared. So this is equal to what? It's equal to 6 squared minus 19x plus 2, right? So good. So this is 4 minus what? This is 12x, and then plus 9x squared. This is equal to what? 6x squared minus 19x plus 2. Okay, so if that's the case now, we have to simplify. We have to bring these terms on this side and remain with 0. It means we have to subtract to both sides by 6x squared and add to both sides by 19x, and we subtract to both sides by 2. So finally we have 4 minus 2 on this side. Then we have minus 12x. We have to add with 19x, and then so we have what? 19x squared. Then we have to minus resulting with 6x squared. So this on this side we have 0, right? So you have just to simplify. 4 minus 2, the answer is equal to 2, right? And then it's negative 12x plus 19x, the answer is equal to 7x. And then it's 9x squared minus 6x, this is 3x squared, answer is equal to 0. So on this side we have 3x squared plus 7x plus 2, this is equal to what? To 0. So then in mathematics, this is equation 5. Well, so now we have equation 5. Let me examine if you've done any mistake else. Not any mistake. So we can solve that now. It's called a quadratic function. So that quadratic function, we can solve it. So the fifth step, as mathematicians, which you have to think, we say that solve equation what? Equation 5. There are so many ways, more than 3 ways that you can solve this quadratic function. You can solve by using the general formula, you can solve by using graphical method, you can solve also by using scientific calculator, you can solve this by using the splitting the middle terms. So it depends. It means that you have so many different options that you can go through. But to simplify our life, we said solve equation 5 by using it, by using scientific calculator. Okay, I know that maybe first learner students, they might challenge me, why am I writing so many steps, or why am I writing words? So listen carefully, I want to answer that question. Possibly I heard in my heart that you are asking yourself your question, why this man is teaching differently, and why is he writing so many instructions? It means, why? Well, this is the technique and a unique teaching aids that have been given from God himself, who have given me a gift of teaching, So when I write the first step, I express left-hand side and right-hand side in the same base of logarithmic function. So it means that even if you will not repeat after you understood what you have done in this step up to this step, then even if that you leave this stuff for 5 years, once you come back after 5 years, you can understand what we are doing. But that is for the long-term plan. But for the short-term plan, you know that we are covering so many contents during the learning period, where that there's not enough time to digest and remember everything as well as you can. So this also simplify you on your revision, because when you just read, you have understood, you have attended the lecture 6 like the way you have done, but during the preparations of the exam, you don't have enough time. So you want just to scan. So if you scan, we know, okay, so how did he move from here to here? We just expressed it. We have been trying our level best to express this logarithmic function into the same base. Thirdly, you see that simplify the equation. So now we have the same base. What next step? We have the same base, so you can simplify like this one. So we know that we have been simplifying at this stage. So you see that this the end of the third step. The first step now, we have to solve for x. Means we have been squaring, simplifying until we have a quadratic function. Here we have 2 functions, remember. That this equation 4, this is the linear function, this is the quadratic function. But this equation 5, this is the only quadratic function. And then I've written that, what did you do next? Because when you are reviewing, possibly you just see x1 is equal to this and x2, and then you are wondering, how did you get this response? And unfortunately, in the formal learning or in the physical learning, there is no way out that you can review. It means you can review the previous lecture, especially the spoken voice from the teacher. It means once the teacher covered the concept, there is no any way, especially in Tanzania, and so any way that you can go through those contents or the contents learned in the class, rather than reviewing the notes that you've been written or you've written on your own. So in case that you miss the spoken language and there's not any steps which have been written, it's troubles. Myself, I developed, this is an outcomes of the informal educations when I've been asking God to teach me the beauty of mathematics for the rest of my life. So I have been using these steps even myself. And I was very successful, especially when I was learning about higher engineering and scientific mathematics in my undergraduate education in Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, right? So don't ignore these steps. I know some of the students, when I was teaching them physically and I tried to check their exercise book, they used to skip these steps because they find that it's a wastage of time. It's not a wastage of time. I'm not wasting your time. I'm redeeming your time. Okay. So then we can use our scientific calculator, and we know that that's a quadratic function. How many roots do you expect from that quadratic function? We expect you to have 2 roots, either 2 equal roots or 2 distinct roots, or we can have complex roots, 2 complex roots, right? So then you take your scientific calculator. Again, remember that in the library of online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, in square bracket Olenjolai, we have this fantastic
scientific calculator for you. We have a library, and one of the contents that we have is scientific calculator. So just take it, press the mode, first time, second time, third time, you find the equation mat, vector, equation. This EQM stands for equation, mat stands for matrix, VCT stands for vector. So press number 1, then that is not simultaneous. These unknowns are for the simultaneous. 2 unknown simultaneous, 3 unknown simultaneous. So press these buttons. On the right side, you have degree and then question mark. What the degree, the highest degree of that equation is 2. So you have to choose 2, right? What the coefficient of x squared is 3. What the coefficients of x is 7. What the coefficient of 2 or for x bar 0 is 2. So the answer now is we get the value of x1 as negative . So A is 3, B is 7. The scientific calculator has given me unexpected results. So therefore, once we solve, we get the first value of x. It is what? It is negative 0.3, repeating decimal, and this one we can simply express as 1/3, and then the second value of this expression is negative 2. So then those are the two answers that you're expecting to. So we have here x1 is equal to negative 130, and also another value of x which can satisfy the given questions is negative 2. Then you are done with example 14. I would like to invite you now in example 15, which is the homework, so that you have to stay focused and stay tuned so that you may have the homework. So I would like just to say that I'm very happy to teach you these contents because I've been hungry, I've been thirsty to teach you for a long time. So stay focused, stay tuned, stay concentrated, stay loving basic engineering and scientific mathematics, and let us go to the homework 6. Right, let me give you a simple homework. Are you ready for that? Hopefully, yes. So this is homework 6. Do it yourself. And this is example 15. Solve for x and y. So here we have log of 4 base x plus log of 2 base y. This is equal to 1. Again, we'll be given log of 2, now log of square root of x base 2 plus log of y base 4 is equal to 0. Because this is the end of chapter 2, that is indices and logarithm, let me give you the answers. And if you do this homework, I believe that now you are competent enough on logarithm. The value of x is 2, and the value of y is 1/2. So make sure to fight until you get those values. So I would like to say that this is the end of what? Of indices, unless that we have some extra questions in logarithm. We can also record the video and post it or upload and just post in our channels or in our online platforms. So this is the end of the chapter 2, which is indices and logarithm. I thank God who have created me in his image and likeness, and I thank God who is with me in this business and who has built the gift of teaching in my heart, in my soul, my mind. And I thank God who have given me this great idea of teaching millions of the students
of ordinary diploma students of present and future generation by using the online technology. And I thank God also who have given me a chance to follow me from lecture 00, which is titled as General Introductions of Basic Engineering and Scientific Mathematics for Ordinary Diploma students, or entry level 4 to entry level 6. I thank you. And if you are first year, then this is the good time for you to enjoy the ordinary diploma basic mathematics for engineering and the scientific courses. So I would like to ask you that to remember to subscribe into our channel, because we still have some other chapters, more than 3 chapters ahead, more than 4 chapters. For ordinary algebra is more than 3 chapters we have ahead. But later on I will teach about Boolean algebra, which is all about logic gates and also Boolean algebra. So I ask you to subscribe, I ask you to share this content with your colleagues, I ask you to ask questions in the comment sections and post and even send your homeworks in the comment section. I ask you to read the comment section to see comments at which have been placed by other students worldwide. And also I ask you to make sure that you pray for this program, you pray for me. I'm always praying for all my online students and even my physical students, so that God should be faithful and should be with us in order to accomplish His own purpose that make us to be alive. So may God keep you. I invite you in the next chapter, which I will introduce to you, and we'll be having the first lecture for that chapter. So may God bless you abundantly and keep you and teach you about basic engineering and scientific mathematics more than I taught you, more than I teach you, and even more than you've been taught by the classroom instructions, because God is faithful and God can teach you more than the human being. So may God bless you, and tell me also in the comment section you're enjoying this content, from which institutions, from which city if you are in Tanzania, from which region, from which country, from which continent. Tell me in the comment sections, because I want to know how this message has spread to the millions of ordinary diploma students. So may God bless you. God loves you so much, and I love you, and meet you in the next lecture.